I'm on my way.
Hello everyone and welcome to another Math Tutor Edu's lecture video. Okay, in this lecture video, I'm going to discuss a new concept within the quadratic functions. Okay, we are still into the quadratic functions, guys. Okay, in the previous video, we have discussed about the methods to find the roots of the quadratic equation. Okay, if you haven't watched those videos, so please click on the link above and watch that video first, and then you can come back and watch this video. Okay, so now I'm going to discuss a new concept, which is the sum of roots, or in the short form SOR, and product of roots, which is called as POR in short form. Okay, so it will be a full-fledged lecture video dedicated for this concept. Okay, because I find out that some of the students tend to struggle in this concept, so I dedicated a special lecture video for this. Okay, so let us begin the lecture of SOR and POR. So in order for me to explain the sum of roots concept and product of roots concept, so let me give you an explanation. So given that, okay, let's say you have two roots, guys. Okay, you have a roots where you have x equals to alpha. Okay, and then the second root you have x equals to beta. Okay, so you have two roots, x equals to alpha and x equals to beta. Okay, now you wanted to change this back into the quadratic equation. So what you need to do? So you need to put in a bracket form. So which in this case it will be x minus alpha, okay, and then times with x minus beta is equals to 0, because when you are finding the factorization, so x minus alpha equals to 0, so x equals to alpha, x minus beta is equal to 0, then you get x equals to beta. Okay, now you are going into the reverse direction, guys. Okay, because you are literally want to form a quadratic equation. Okay, so from here, let's say you are decided to perform the expansion from here. So let us do the expansion now. So from here you get this x square. Okay, x times with x, so you get your x square. So x times with negative beta, so from here you get is negative beta x. Negative alpha times with x, so from here you get is negative alpha x. Negative alpha times with negative beta, so from here you get is positive alpha beta equals to 0. Okay, so from here what you can do is negative beta x minus alpha x, you can group them into a single coefficient x, and then you can factor out the negative. So when you factor out the negative, it'll be look like this, where x square minus, okay, you put a minus here, and then in a bracket alpha plus beta x. Okay, so alpha plus beta x plus alpha beta is equals to 0. Okay, guys, so I hope you understand the explanation till now. So this is technically representing the sum of roots, or in short form SOR. For the alpha beta is representing the POR, or also known as the product of roots. Okay, so if I want to write this in a proper formula, it will be like this. Okay, where x square minus, okay, in a bracket SOR, which is sum of roots, times with x plus with POR, or also known as product of roots, is equals to 0. Okay, so this is the formula that you should remember whenever you want to apply the concept of sum of roots and product of roots. Okay, so the purpose of you learning this is very simple. In order for you to form a quadratic equation, okay, let's say they give you the root, how are you going to form a quadratic equation? So these are the methods, guys. Okay, so let me underline let me box the formula. Okay, so this formula is very important, so which I've explained to the derivation, guys. Okay, so let me give you a quick explanation based on the SOR and POR concept. Okay, so let's say you have a quadratic equation of ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0. Okay, so from here you want to use the SOR and POR concept to find the roots. So how are you going to find the roots? Okay, before you want to find the roots, the first step on what you need to do is you need to make sure that the coefficient of A is equals to 1. How are you going to make it equals to 1? You need to divide the whole quadratic equation by A. So you divide the whole quadratic equation by A. So from here you get is x squared plus with b over A x plus with c over A equals to 0. Okay. So from here, let us identify the sum of roots and product of roots from here. So from here, your sum of roots, okay, in this case, will be equals to negative b over A. Then you might be wondering why it is negative b over A. Okay, take a look at this formula, guys. Okay, in this formula, in front of the coefficient of SOR, you have a negative over here. So when you substitute negative b over here into here, you automatically get positive b over A. Okay, if you still don't get it, don't worry, I'm going to do a double checking with you, so no problem. So your SOR is equals to negative b over A, and your product of roots, or also known as POR, is equals to C over A. Okay, usually students will find the product of roots easier than the sum of roots because of this negative symbol over here. You just need to be extra careful. Okay, so to double check, so if you want to double check, okay, very simple, you can just apply this formula over here. So from here, x squared minus SOR times with x plus with POR is equals to 0. Then you just substitute the sum of roots and product of roots over here. So from here, x squared minus negative b over A close bracket x. Okay, if we can't see it clearly, let me push this up. So let me repeat again. So x squared minus negative b over A x plus with c over A is equals to 0. Okay, so when you solve this, you should get x squared plus b over A x plus c over A is equals to 0. Okay, as you can see here, this and this expression, they are the same. So it is proven that your SOR is equals to negative b over A and POR is equals to c over A. Okay guys, so this is the quick explanation of sum of roots and product of roots. Okay, so I hope you're able to understand the concept of SOR and POR. Okay, so let me just quickly go through some examples. Okay, actually I want to discuss 3 examples over here. Okay, start with the easy one and then slowly go to the medium and then go for the complicated one. Okay, so let us start with a little bit easy example. Okay, let's say you have a root of negative 2 and 8. Okay, so let's just write here number 1, okay, which is indicating the first example. So let's say the question asks you to form a quadratic equation based on the roots negative 2 and 8. So how are you going to form a roots? Okay, the first step is identify your sum of roots and product of roots. Okay, SOR, sum of roots. So from here, the roots are already given. So from here, SOR is very simple. Negative 2, you just plus with 8. So from here, negative 2 plus with 8, you should get your SOR is equals to 6. Okay, this is your sum of roots. Okay, in parallel, we will find the product of roots as well. So from here, your product of root is equals to negative 2 times with 8. So negative 2 times with 8. Okay, you calculate this, you should get your product of root is equals to negative 16. Okay, now you're going to perform the calculation in order to form a quadratic equation. So from here, the formula x squared minus SOR x plus POR is equals to 0. Okay, make sure you apply this formula. Okay, so once you apply this formula, you just substitute into this formula over here. So from here, x squared minus 6x minus 16 is equals to 0. So this is your final answer. Okay. So this question, they already give us the root and we are required to form a quadratic equation. So it's considered to be a very simple example. Okay, this is your example 1. So let me go through the second example. Okay. So let's say for the second example, they gave you the root of so let us give some fractions over here. In this case, negative 1 over 4, okay, and then 3 over 5. Okay, and then the question asks us to form a quadratic equation based on these two roots. Okay, so how are you going to form? Okay, the working is still the same. Okay, first step, find the sum of roots. Okay, sum of roots is equals to negative 1 over 4 plus 3 over 5. Okay, so 1 over 4 plus with 3 over 5. Okay, so you try to make the denominator same. So from here, you try to make the denominator same. So negative 1 over 4. Okay, so from here you get is a negative 1 over 4 times with 5 times with 5 plus 3 over 5 times with 4 times with 4. Okay, so from here you get is negative 5 over 20 plus with 12 over 20. Okay, negative 5 over 20 plus 12 over 20. So from here get is 7 over 20. So this is your SOR, sum of roots. Okay, let us proceed to find the product of roots. Okay. So product of roots, it will be equals to negative 1 over 4 times with 3 over 5. Okay, since it's multiplication, so it's very straightforward. So from here you get your POR is negative 3 over 20. Okay. So now what you do, you apply the these two roots into the general formula of SOR and POR. In this case is x square minus SORx plus POR is equals to 0. Okay, so when you substitute in all the respective roots over here, the sum of roots and product of roots into the equation, so from here get is x square minus 7 over 20 x, okay, and then minus 3 over 20 is equals to 0. Okay, so in order for you to make the quadratic equation looks nice, so from here you times the whole equation by 20. Okay, so from here when you times the whole quadratic equation by 20, so from here get is 20x square minus 7x minus 3 is equals to 0. So this is your final answer. Okay, so let us move on to the last example. Okay, for the last example, I'm going to read the question now. So the question will appear in the screen over here. So let me read it for you now. If alpha and beta are the roots of quadratic equation 2x squared plus 5x minus 12 equals to 0, form a quadratic equation that has the root 1 over alpha and 1 over beta. Okay, so this is the problem. Okay, we are slowly going into a more complex question. Okay, so no worries. So I'm going to guide you on step-by-step working. Okay, so from here, let us start to solve this question. So from here, okay, so let me write the quadratic equation here. So 2x squared plus 5x minus 12 equals to 0. Okay, so the first step, what you need to do is you need to make sure that the coefficient a is equals to 1. So in this case, your coefficient a is 2. So what you need to do, you need to divide the whole quadratic equation by 2. Okay, so you divide the whole quadratic equation by 2. So from here, you get is x squared plus it 5 over 2, x minus with 12 over 2. Okay, of course, 12 over 2 is 6, but I write this for the for your understanding, guys. Okay, equals to 0. Of course, you can rewrite again as x squared plus 5 over 2x minus 6 equals to 0. Okay, so you already formed in this way, and we already make sure that the coefficient a is equals to 1. Okay, once you're done with this, let us proceed to the next step, is by forming the SOR and POR. So from here, sum of roots, SOR, POR, product of roots. Okay, let us solve them in parallel. So SOR in this case, alpha plus beta. Okay, in this case, okay, please be careful whenever you want to find for SOR. So from here, alpha plus beta is equals to negative 5 over 2. Okay guys, it's not 5 over 2 directly, it is negative 5 over 2. Okay, so that is the value for SOR. Okay, for POR, in this case, it will be alpha times with beta. Okay, alpha times with beta, it will be equals to negative 6. Okay, for this coefficient, you don't need to make any changes in the symbol. Okay, but then for SOR, you need to be slightly careful, guys. Okay, since here you have the positive, in your SOR calculation, it will be negative. Okay, so from here, what you need to do, this equation you set as equation 1, and alpha beta equation you set as equation 2. Okay, now the question has already gave us a new roots. Okay, which in this case is 1 over alpha. 1 over alpha, okay, comma 1 over beta. Okay, so 1 over alpha and 1 over beta are the new roots. So what we're going to do is we're going to form sum of roots and product of roots based on this 1 over alpha and 1 over beta. Okay, so let us perform the working. Okay, so from here, let us begin for the SOR for the new roots. Okay, let me just check. Okay, so from here, SOR for the new roots, it will be 1 over alpha plus with 1 over beta. Okay, so from here, since it is involving a fraction, so you need to make sure that the denominator has the same value. Okay, so from here, so 1 over alpha, okay, you just times with beta, okay, plus with 1 over beta, okay, here you just times with alpha. So from here, it will be beta plus alpha over alpha beta, but for the convenience, you just write here alpha plus beta over alpha beta. It's just the same, guys. Okay, remember, we have already formed the equation over here. Alpha plus beta is equals to negative 5 over 2. And then alpha beta is equals to negative 6. So this value, we are going to substitute over here. Okay. You're going to substitute over here, guys. Okay. So from here, alpha plus beta, it will be negative 5 over 2. Okay, and then alpha beta is equals to negative 6. So from here, negative 5 over 2 divided with negative 6. Okay, so from here, it will become negative 5 over 2 times with negative 1 over 6. So from here, get is you get is 5 over 12. Okay, so this is your SOR. Okay, you do step by step, guys. Okay, we already done with the SOR. Okay, let us proceed with the POR. Okay, for POR, it will be slightly easier for us. Okay, product of roots, for the new root, it will be 1 over alpha times with 1 over beta. So from here you times them together. So from here you get is 1 over alpha beta. Okay, alpha beta, we know that it is negative 6. So you just substitute the negative 6 over here. So from here you get your product of roots, it will be negative 1 over 6. Okay. You already have the SOR and you have the POR over here. So let us form the quadratic equation now. Okay, let me write the formula once again. So x squared minus SOR x plus with POR equals to 0. Okay, and then x squared minus, okay, in a bracket 5 over 12 x, okay, plus with POR you can just straight away write here negative 1 over 6 equals to 0. So from here x squared minus 5 over 12 x minus 1 over 6 is equals to 0. Okay, so let us times the whole equation by 12. So from here it will get 12x squared minus 5x, okay, minus 2 is equals to 0. So this is your final answer. Okay, so let me underline the solution. Okay, so you have come to the end of the lecture video for today. So I hope you understand the concept of SOR and POR, and then plus the examples that I've explained to you. If you like this video, make sure that you give a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon for more upcoming advanced lecture videos in the future, and make sure that you share this video to your friends. Thank you everyone for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.